UFC 320 went down last night. Man, what a card. 4 out of the 5 fights on the main card were finishes. Of course, Pereira went out there and did his thing again. We're going to get into all these starting at the early prelims. And I'm going to be honest, since so many of these were on Fight Pass, I didn't catch these ones. Obviously, I saw some of the highlights, heard some of the news on these fights. Veronica, I picked her by decision. She got the decision over Brogan Walker. Brogan Walker did land some takedowns, but Veronica did her thing, outclassed her on the feet. She was the more well-rounded fighter, got the job done by decision. Let's move on. Ramiz Brahimaj versus Austin Vanderford. I did not see this coming. I picked Austin Vanderford by round 2 submission. Ramiz Brahimaj gets the round 2 submission. Again, didn't watch this one, but I did see some of the highlights. Austin Vanderford went out and was doing his thing with the wrestling, getting takedowns, had some control. Round 2 comes around, gets caught with a nasty head kick. Ramiz Brahimaj latches up the submission. I believe it was a guillotine. Gets the finish. Big upset. 3 fights in a row for this guy, Ramiz Brahimaj. 3 finishes as well, so definitely a guy to look out for, man. I didn't see this coming. Good win for him. Took out a streaking prospect in Austin Vanderford. Hey, I mean, I guess he's still got Page, though, right? Glass half full there. Moving up. Chris Gutierrez, Farid Basharat. Farid Basharat gets the decision. Again, I picked Chris Gutierrez. I picked Farid Basharat by decision. Gets it done, dude. He just does a little bit more than Chris Gutierrez. Chris just never does enough, man. He just feigns at range. Doesn't have much volume. Talented guy, but again, he just doesn't do enough, and that cost him here with the decision. Farid Basharat just outpoints him. Not really sold on Farid Basharat, though, at this point, man. I mean, a lot of boring fights, not a lot of activity. Like, needs someone to come forward and really, like, push the action. Actually fight him, get in his face, put the pressure on, but regardless, gets the decision there. Moving on. Macy Chiasson, Yana Santos. I picked Macy Chiasson. I watched some of the highlights. Macy Chiasson pushing the clinch constantly, getting beat in the clinch by Yana Santos constantly, getting kneed to the midsection, elbowed, and just bad game planning by Macy Chiasson here. Like, you keep clinching with her. She's clearly better than you in the clinch. She had a strength advantage, which I didn't think would happen because Macy Chiasson is a big bantamweight, 5'11", rangy, but she just didn't use the range in that fight. Kept pushing the action with the clinch. Had a good round 3, got the takedown, but didn't really do too much on the ground. Yana Santos just, gets it done. Overpowers her in the clinch and edges the decision here. So, big upset there. Moving on, Punahele Soriano, Nikolay Veretennikov. I knew Punahele Soriano was going to win this fight. Nikolay Veretennikov, again, he just doesn't make good decisions. I mean, dude, he's pulling guillotine constantly in this fight. He's jumping the gilly. Shout out to Dustin Poirier. He's jumping the gilly and getting controlled on the ground, right? Punahele Soriano, All-American wrestler, solid ground game, and he just went out there and did what he had to do, right? And Veretennikov, instead of trying to fight the takedown, pummel under, jack him up off the hips, and get back to range, just decides to pull guillotine. And, Punahele did experience a little bit of adversity in this fight. Nikolay Veretennikov had his back at one point, was threatening a choke. Punahele Soriano gets the reversal, gets back to work. Pretty easy there. I honestly thought he would probably knock out Veretennikov in the first round, but he used that solid grappling to pull off the decision there. Moving up, prelims. Edmen Shahbazyan, Andre Muniz called this one to the T. I said Edmen Shahbazyan's going to get the knockout in the first round. That's exactly what he did, but Muniz was looking good early, man. He was landing shots. Got a takedown. Shahbazyan got back up quickly to his feet. Got to work. It looked like Muniz was going to win that round, and then, like, the last minute, dude, Edmen Shahbazyan cracks him, puts him down, puts him away with strikes on the ground. So, solid work by Shahbazyan. I don't know what kind of win streak he's on now. I think that's like a 3-fight win streak for him as well. Looking really good. Good resurgence in his career. Because, I mean, at one point, this guy was looked at as like the next big prospect out of the Ronda Rousey camp. That should tell you all you need to know. But I don't think, obviously, he's not there anymore. I think he's training with has much better coaching. And it's showing, man. Like, after that GM3 fight, I was for sure this guy was, like, done. But, you know, credit to him. He's staging a good comeback late into his career. So, nice work by Edmen Shahbazyan. Moving up. Patchy Mix, Jakub Wiklacz. I had Patchy Mix, dude, by, I want to say I think I had him by decision. Right? I didn't think he would get a submission, but, dude, look, I do think Patchy won this fight. I do think he won the fight. I don't want to say robbery. I think he deserved probably the split decision going in his favor. But again, dude, this is such a bad look, man. Because it's like you get tuned up by Batista in your debut. You're extremely flat-footed. You're getting lit up on the feet. Hey, no harm. You know, no shame in losing to a guy like Batista. He's ranked 10th in the world now, but dude, this is a guy who's making his debut. He wasn't that highly touted of a prospect, Wiklacz. And it's like you're going life or death with a guy who's making his debut, who's not that good of a prospect. Like, bad look for Patchy. He looked terrible in this fight. Like, on the feet, he's just awful. He just plods forward, gets hit with lots of strikes, lots of significant strikes. Was landing the takedowns throughout the fight, but like almost every time he would land a takedown, Wiklacz would lock up a guillotine, and Patchy's supposed to be the world-class guy on the ground. Wiklacz would have this guillotine on him and like easily reverse him or look like he was close to getting it, and Patchy would just get kicked over by the feet. Like he had a lot, I think he had like a butterfly guard often when he had that guillotine, and he would just easily sweep Patchy over. Kind of like he did, I think it was round 2? He just kept sweeping him over, and he would, you know, maintain top control on Patchy, land good strikes on the ground. And that was kind of like the first 2 rounds, dude. Is Patchy getting takedowns, but like getting easily kicked over and swept by the guy who was not supposed to be the ground guy, right? Like Wiklacz is decently well-rounded, but you're supposed to be the ground guy, and you're getting easily reversed with guillotines. I mean, I think there was like a couple times where like Patchy was in side control, and Wiklacz still managed to reverse the position with that guillotine. Like, he had the head and still managed to reverse. Like, really, really terrible performance by Patchy. Despite getting the takedowns, it's like he just did nothing with them. He couldn't maintain any form of control until the 3rd round. He pretty much had him on the ground, had control the entire 3rd round, had his back at one point, but he just didn't do enough. So it's like, yeah, I do think he won the fight, but again, it's like, dude, like, where is this big prospect that we like? How is this guy? What was he, 21-2 coming into this? 20-2? How is this guy 20-2, man? Patchy Mix is just like, this is a bust, right? Like, it's like they say in the NFL, like, this is a draft bust here. Like, Patchy is just terrible, dude. Like, this was a bad look for him. He's now 0-2 in the UFC. And, bro, come on. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't know, man. I don't even know what you do with Patchy at this point. Like, that was rough to see. He's just not a good fighter. He's not UFC caliber. Like, I don't know, man. Like, you might cut him. You might send him off to the PFL because, like, I just don't know what he brings. He doesn't bring excitement. Like, he's terrible on the feet. He's getting outstruck by everybody easily, getting tuned up on the feet. And then the one thing that's supposed to be his bread and butter, the grappling, he's like getting reversed and easily kicked off with guillotines from guys who aren't that high level on the ground. Not saying Wiklacz isn't good, but he's not like some super dangerous guy on the ground. That's your specialty, and you couldn't even impose that in this fight. So that's a rough one for Patchy. I honestly, like, maybe you cut him. I don't know what you do with him at this point. This was a debut guy here, and you couldn't even get this one done, bro. Like, I don't even feel bad that he lost the fight. It's like, dude, you're going life or death with a guy making his debut. Like, what are we doing here? But hey, nice work by Wiklacz. Gets the win in his debut. And dude, and he had to have had a tremendous amount of jitters in this fight. Still managed to go out and get a win in his debut over Patchy Mix, a guy who was highly touted. So You know, maybe Wiklacz gets better. Maybe this loss for Patchy ages well. We'll see. Time will tell. Moving on. Daniel Santos, Joosang Yu. Dude. Like, this is why you don't emote 101, dude. Like, you're not Anderson Silva, little bro. This guy the whole time was clip farming, taunting. Daniel Santos was landing too, man. Like, Daniel Santos was landing some nasty strikes on Joosang Yu, and he would just, throw his hands up, taunt, emote. I do think in the first round, like, Joosang Yu looked a lot more loose, a lot more fluid. He was darting in and out of range, circling, was landing a lot of good strikes himself. A lot of significant stuff. Gets taken down and then just proceeds to sit there and throw his arms up, right? It reminded me of the Khabib Nurmagomedov Abel Trujillo fight where Khabib got like 23 takedowns and broke the record. And every time Trujillo would get taken down, he would just throw his arms up like, he ain't doing shit. Bro, you've got to scramble up. Like, you're losing the fight. You're losing the round by sitting in bottom position against the cage. Just get the hell up, dude. Pummel under and get back to your damn feet. What are you doing? Like, really, really arrogant, really arrogant stuff from Joosang Yu. Like, and don't get me wrong, I love the entertainment aspect of the game. But, dude, you have to be, like, winning the fight. You have to actually be landing. He was doing good on the feet, but again, he was getting cracked, which was worrying. It was worrying. And then, dude, getting taken down like that and just sitting there and, continuing to emote to the crowd, it's like, what are we doing here, dude? Get back to your feet. Get back to your feet. Get back to range. Like, because he was winning the stand-up. You was winning the stand. You were winning the stand-up. And, so that's kind of how the round ended. I do think Joosang Yu edged the round just because he landed, more significant strikes. The jab was money for him. Lightning fast jab. You could tell he had the power. It was popping the head back of Santos multiple times. Round 2, again, he's right back on it. Emoting. Daniel Santos gets in his face. I think it was an overhand he landed, put Joosang Yu down, and that's all she wrote, dude. That's all she wrote. Like, this is definitely a learning moment for Joosang Yu, bro. Like, we get it. You're talented. You're an up-and-coming prospect. You want to showcase on a big card, in the T-Mobile. But, like, come on, man. There has to be some responsibility there, okay? You're not Anderson Silva. Like, you are not Anderson Silva. Keep your fucking hands up. When you get taken down, get back up to your feet. Maybe a little less emoting. You can still do it. You can still be an entertainer, but, like, dude, you can't be continuing to emote while you're getting fucking cracked on the feet like that. And it cost him. So, hey, big upset by Daniel Santos. I had Joosang Yu by first round knockout, but, that's the game, dude. Daniel Santos is good, dude. Like, some of those wheel kicks were deadly. If those would have landed, that would have been, like, knockout of the year potential, right? Like Mauricio Hoofy over Bobby Green, that would have been comparable. Those were some nasty wheel kicks Santos was throwing. So, good performance by him. I think he's like, 14-2 now? Definitely a good prospect, bro. A lot of experience in the UFC. Yeah, good upset. Moving on. Ateba, Gautier, Treston Vines. Like, again, I had Ateba by first round finish. Pretty easy to call this one. Dude, that was weird. Like, obviously Ateba was landing big shots throughout. And then they get against the cage, and Ateba's like, I don't know, dude. A lot of people think he hurt Treston Vines with elbows because he got, like, Treston Vines was, like, pressing a takedown. It looked like he was going to get it. He was in pretty deep. And Ateba had almost like a Muay Thai plum clasped around the neck of Treston Vines. And then he just shifts him over, and Treston Vines just falls down on the cage. Almost like he had gotten choked out by the squeeze from the Muay Thai plum on his neck and just falls down, and Ateba just finishes him off on the ground by TKO. Really weird sequence because, like, I know he got hit with big strikes, but, like, I don't think they were super big strikes when he was in the clinch and he just fell down. Like, I didn't really see the elbows, any of that sequence where, like, any significant elbows landed when he had Ateba against the cage and was pressing a takedown. Like, Ateba just threw him off easy like a ragdoll. He just fell down. Ateba just, like, he didn't even throw him. He just, like, moved him slightly with the clinch. And Treston just fell down, and that dude, that was it. He was just out of it. Really weird stoppage. Like, I don't. But hey, you know, Ateba went out and did his thing. Like, dude, come on. Let's up the competition a little bit. This guy is like winning these fights in like under 2 minutes. Like, come on, this is 3 in a row now. It's like, let's get this guy some better comp. Like, let's challenge this guy a little bit, because this at this point this isn't telling us anything about his game, right? We don't know if he can overcome adversity in later rounds. So let's up the competition for Ateba Gautier, but regardless, got that one pretty easy. Pretty easy to see what was going to happen there. Yeah, moving on. Main card. Abus Magomedov, Joe Pyfer. I picked Joe Pyfer. I honestly picked Joe Pyfer by decision. He kind of surprised me in this fight. He had a rough first round, though, dude. From the jump, like, he was pressing the takedown. Got reversed, right? He gets the takedown and then gets reversed by Abus Magomedov. Abus Magomedov maintains a couple minutes of top control. He's landing some good strikes. Pyfer's trying to scramble. He's following him really good. Doing what he has to do on top position. Pyfer gets back up, back on the pressure to finish up the round. So I gave the first round to Abus Magomedov just because of the top control, the strikes he was landing from top control. Looked really good, dude. But again, it's like Abus Magomedov is one of the best. Like, Abus Magomedov is like Kyler Phillips, right, in the bantamweight division. World beater in the first round. Like, it seems like nobody can stop this guy in the first round. He was tuning up Sean Strickland in the first round. But it's like that's where his gas tank gets left, right? He's a first round fighter. Round 2, it's completely different. He comes out already looking tired. And it wasn't that crazy of a pace either on the ground. Right? Like, sure, Joe Pyfer was trying to scramble, trying to adjust, but like really not a super high pace taxing pace, you know? And Abus comes out and he's already slowed down. Pyfer's right back on the pressure. Lands a nasty right hook against the cage, puts him down, gets to mount, threatens the arm triangle. Abus defends the arm triangle pretty well. Gets out of that, but ultimately gives up his back. And then Pyfer's got the arm under his neck, and Abus just, at that point, Abus was just like, I'm done. I'm going to give this guy a rear naked choke win, because the arm was under the neck for like a good 15, 20 seconds. Like, you watch the sequence, and Pyfer's right arm is just perfectly nestled under Abus Magomedov's neck. And Abus is just like not pulling the arm down. It could have easily been defended in that sequence. I'm not saying it would have gotten any better. It probably wouldn't. At that point, Joe Pyfer was probably going to finish him. I don't know if he was just really like still dazed and seeing stars, and that's why he just did not fight the hands, or if he just gave up. But again, it was not a surprise that this fight ended in rear naked choke. The arm's under the neck. All Joe had to do was just be like, all right, well. Latched up the rear naked choke submission, gets it done. Underrated grappling for Pyfer, man. Does need to work on not getting reversed, though. Like, the takedowns definitely need a little bit of work. But if he can get you down and get in dominant position, it's just, you know, a wrap. Plus, he just has that one-punch power. Once he was able to land on Abus, it was just a completely game-changing moment. He's always going to have that. He is a well-rounded dude. Definitely deserves to be ranked at this point. I thought Abus was ranked 14th. Like, how does Abus lose his rank? Because Abus was coming off of, what, 2-3 straight wins? Michel Pereira in his last fight, obviously. So I think Joe Pyfer definitely deserves to be ranked. Definitely an underrated dude, man. Well-rounded. Obviously, he trains out of that Philadelphia camp with Sean Brady. So, really solid ground game. Like, we're really starting to see an evolution of his game. Like, Joe Pyfer's a good prospect, man. Good prospect. Good cardio to go to a decision in the Gastelum fight. Good ground game and just fight-changing power. So that's a good win for Joe Pyfer. Pretty easy to call this one based on the gas tank of Magomedov. So yeah, like, definitely we got to keep rising Pyfer up the ranks. I thought Magomedov was ranked 14th. I don't know how he loses a ranking. Maybe he was just too inactive, whatever, but I'm not saying top 10, though, for Pyfer yet. Look, let's get him someone in the lower rankings, right? Maybe like a 13 through 15, maybe a 12 through 15, something like that. Yeah, but hey, good win for Joe Pyfer. Moving on. Josh Emmett, Youssef Zalal. I had Youssef Zalal by decision. I thought it was going to be a very Calvin Cater-esque performance where he was just going to dance around on the outside, sting Josh Emmett with jabs, 1-2s, straights, right? And just, tap low kicks and kind of have a very boring, uneventful decision. But, dude, Josh Emmett didn't land a punch. Josh Emmett did not land a punch, bro. Like, I swear to God, it's like the first big shot Emmett threw, Youssef Zalal just ducked under, got the takedown, had his back, and then go for that inverted armbar. And right from the jump, dude, like, you could just see the sequence there. Like, the hips were tight, they were locked in, both men were dry, and that was just all she wrote. He would have broke Emmett's arm, and makes quick work with that inverted armbar, and Emmett just had no choice, bro. Verbal tap, pretty quick. Like, his arm would have gotten broken. Hey, impressive bounce back, man, for Youssef Zalal, because that Calvin Cater fight, man, he ran the entire third round, and it was just a very stinker performance. This is kind of what he needs to get back on track and really cement himself as an up-and-coming contender. Yeah, man, like, good win, good performance, especially over a guy like Josh Emmett, who is a hard guy to put away. I mean, Ilya Tuporia couldn't put this guy away. Even Yair, who put him away, I think it was triangle in the second round, was, in a bit of a back and forth with Emmett. But this was clean, bro. No strikes landed on him. Armbar in under 2 minutes. Like, Youssef Zalal is a well-rounded guy with an underrated ground game. Good striking. I know his camp is... I know they want, like, a top contender fight, and I mean, I don't see why not, dude. Like, if you're going out there and doing that to Josh Emmett, like, I think you definitely deserve a big fight. I know he was doing the whole title belt kind of visual there after the fight. I mean, like, you're not getting a title shot, let's be honest. But I don't know, maybe a number one. I don't know, man. There's a lot of guys up in that division right now. But I say we give him a big fight. Like, test him against somebody in the top 5. If he can get it done like that, I mean, I think he'd be undeniable at that point. But solid win, good bounce back, quick submission for Youssef Zalal. Moving on. Yuri Prohashka, Khalil Roundtree Jr. I went with Khalil to get the upset, and dude, he was on his way. Like, he was up 2-0 going into the third, right? Like, Yuri just looked off, dude. Like, he was just moving real weird, slipping around the cage a lot. Khalil was countering nice. There was a clear speed advantage from the jump. Round 1, he's, landing good shots, countering him really well, landing nasty body kicks. Like, he really left a lot of redness on the body of Yuri Prohashka in that first round. Was kicking the legs, right? Really diversifying the strikes, and I thought was doing a really good job just kind of like hand fighting, right? Like feinting with Yuri. Like, because Yuri is always, like, doing all this kind of crazy shit, and I feel like Khalil was just doing a real good job of following Yuri's activity and using it to set up counters, body kicks. Like, anytime Yuri would come in, he'd chop a low kick, he'd chop a body kick, he'd chop a big overhand, a good straight. Actually, like, landed some really good strikes that, like, hurt Yuri in that first round. Easily wins the first. Round 2 is a much closer round. Like, Yuri was starting to put on the pressure. Putting on the pressure, starting to land more on Roundtree. Roundtree was still doing a good job, though, circling out, chopping kicks, body kicks, low kicks. One thing I noticed, though, about Khalil is, like, he really tends to overextend with the punches. Like, he throws a lot of heavy shots that whiff. And that was, like, pretty apparent through a lot of this fight, especially in round 2. Yuri started moving a lot better. Obviously, there was a reach disadvantage, and I think Khalil a lot of times doesn't do the best job covering the range, covering the distance he needs to land, right? Because there was a lot of, like, overhands and big shots that were just hitting air, especially in that second round. Yuri was starting to pick at him, starting to land more. I do think Khalil still landed the better shots in round 2. Was landing a lot of the body shots, a lot of the kicks. Still landed some good hooks, overhands, things like that, but definitely a much closer round. Like, you could tell Yuri was starting to get into his groove a little bit more. Round 3 comes around, dude, and Yuri just turns up. He turns up, he gets in his face, immediately starts landing big. And yeah, man, he's like Joe Pyfer, dude. Yuri has that fight-changing power, right? And as soon as he was attacking the body too, especially, which really, really just, I mean, that was the beginning of the end for Khalil, man. Those body shots were fight-changing. He was landing nasty teep kicks to the body, kept attacking the body with punches, and it slowed Khalil down, and then he started going up top to the head, hit him with a nasty, I think it was a left hook, maybe it was a right hook, rocked Khalil and just stalked him throughout that round until he got him up against the cage, and boom, left hook. I can't remember if it was a left or a right, but he lands the hook, face plants Khalil. It was just, yeah, man, like he forced, like, dude, that's what I said before this fight. He forces guys to into these dogfights, and Khalil did such a good job the first 2 rounds, not engaging in that and just doing what he needed to do, countering when he needed to do, kind of following the activity of Yuri, with all the crazy shit he does. He followed him with the hands and chopped low kicks and body kicks when Yuri would come forward, and that just, it didn't happen in round 3, man. The body shots really, really devastated Khalil, slowed him down. And then as soon as he started taking significant strikes to the head, like, you can't take too many of those from a guy like Yuri. He gets put away and he gets forced into that dogfight, man. That's one thing about Khalil. When he starts getting tired, he goes to war, man. And you can't do that against a guy like Yuri, man. You can't stand in the pocket and be trading with Yuri. Like, you have to be moving. You have to be circling out. And, dude, Yuri does it again. He does it again. He comes from behind. Every single fight, this guy comes from behind, man. So, yeah, props. Dude, you can't not love a guy like Yuri, man. I know I was going for Khalil to get the upset. Both guys are really good dudes. Really stand-up guys. You can't not like Yuri, though. I know I got the pick wrong, but, dude, really inspirational, dude. Really cool kind of guy. Really lives that samurai kind of lifestyle, and dude, he just never quits on himself. He's so crafty in there. He's just that crafty vet who always finds a way to come from behind and get the win. Except for Pereira. That's the only exception, man. So, really, really solid fight. Fight of the night, in my opinion. I don't know if it got it or not. Doesn't look like it. Which is crazy. Crazy. How does that not get fight of the night? That's crazy to me. But I feel for Yuri, man, because all that work, dude, fight of the night kind of performance, come from behind victory in round 3 after being down 2-0, gets the knockout over a dangerous guy like Khalil Roundtree, proves he's still top of the division. Bro, this guy's not getting a title shot anytime soon. He's not. He needs one more now, dude. If Magomed would have won that fight, I still think Oberg was the rightful contender no matter what. But I could see them justifying putting Yuri against Ankalaev if Ankalaev would have defended the belt, right? Now that Pereira's champion again, you're coming off of 2 knockouts to that guy. You've lost twice to that guy. Dude, yeah, man. You're not going to fight for that title anytime soon. I feel for him, bro, because as soon as Pereira won, like, I know he was acting all, like, pumped in for Pereira. He had tears in his eyes. I thought it was because he realized that was the one moment that he realized he was never going to get a title shot. He was not going to get, like, I don't know, man, how this shit shakes up. Like, that's devastating for Yuri. Pereira winning, I get it. You had the beef with Ankalaev. You had the back and forth online. You didn't like that guy. But, dude, Pereira winning was worst case scenario for you. You might never fight for the title ever again. You might not, dude, because, like, there is so much buzz going around with Pereira and who he should fight next. We'll get into that, but, I mean, Yuri's at the bottom of the list now, dude. He is, and he's a solid guy. He's one of the best guys in that division. Nobody outside of Alex Pereira has been able to beat him. I honestly think you do Magomed Ankalaev next for him. You do, and if he wins that, he's undeniable. Throw him in there a 3rd time, even if Pereira's champ, right? But, yeah, I mean, that kind of dashed his hopes at having another crack at that world title, because it's like, dude, we got to see fresh matchups at this point, and Carlos Ulberg's the guy. As boring as Carlos Ulberg is, it's much more, as much as I like Yuri Prochazka more than Carlos Ulberg, like, yeah, you got to give Carlos a crack at it, man. Neither guy really did a good job selling the fight afterwards, either. Like, Ulberg, like, they're asking him, what makes you think you should be next? Oh, well, what are we doing here? Like, I remember sitting there watching the post fight of both these guys, um, and Olberg's like failing to just really sell why he thinks he deserves to be next. Should he have to sell it? No, that should be apparent. But like, if I'm Olberg, I'm like, why am I next? Because Yuri Prohashka got knocked the fuck out twice by Alex Pereira. He's had 2 cracks at that belt. I'm a new guy. I'm on a 9-fight win streak, and I got 5 fucking significant strikes landed on me in my last fight before getting a brutal round 1 knockout in the main event of UFC Perth. That's why I'm next. Simple. That's all he would have needed to. That's all he needed to say, and he just couldn't do it. And then Yuri's like, "Oh, I feel I'm next because I can, I always bring my best. I know I have to improve." And it's like, dude, both you guys, you guys need somebody, you guys need an Ali Abdelaziz, as much as I hate to say it. You need a guy like that who can really sell that to the UFC, right? Like, I just couldn't believe Olberg. I couldn't believe Olberg just couldn't sell that. Like, dude, you're on a 9-fight win streak. You're coming off a vicious first round knockout where you got only 5 strikes landed on you the whole fucking round. Like, dude, sell that shit. Come on. What are we doing here? But hey, tangent aside, good win from Prohashka, dude. He just finds a way to get it done, man. Sick fight. Moving on to our co-main event. Merab Dvalishvili, Corey Sandhagen. I mean, dude, it's another day at the office for Merab, right? I mean, 20 out of 37 takedowns. Outstruck him for the most part, landed more on the feet. Round 1, Corey looked good, though, dude. Like, we knew Corey was going to be able to fight off the takedowns. Like, you go back and watch that Umar fight, you knew he has great defensive wrestling, really good at scrambling back up, and he easily got up every time he got taken down. Merab really struggled with it. Got a takedown early in the round, but Corey just bounced right back up, got back to range, was doing a really good job landing up top, finishing off his, he's really good at disguising the low kick, dude. He would land a good 1-2 down the pipe, chop a low kick, chop a calf kick, like, looked really dynamic, goes out there, wins the first round, and, like, I'm not gonna lie, at that point it was like, shit, Sandhagen might pull this off, dude. If he can, like, literally get up that fast from the takedowns and get back to range and do this guy can pull a decision over Merab. So, I mean, there was a lot of hype for Corey Sandhagen going into round 2, but I don't know what happened in round 2. Like, I think he underestimated the striking of Merab. I really thought Merab, there is no fucking way Merab's gonna rock me. He's backing straight up, his chin's in the fucking air, his hands are fucking down. Merab is like landing like significant shots on him, and he just isn't putting the hands up. And I just remember sitting there thinking, dude, you're gonna get hurt. And sure enough, he gets hurt. Kind of folds down onto the canvas. I thought for sure right there, like, Merab was gonna TKO him in round 2. He almost got it. Corey found a way to survive. And then, dude, from there on, it was kind of, for the most part, Merab. Like, after he got Corey hurt, it was just a game changer. He just started ragdolling him throughout. Round 3, much of the same. He's ragdolling him, getting the body lock, dumping him down, just constantly on the pressure, man. It's like, this guy just has, like, a childlike energy about him. It's so crazy. Like, he's like, always has a smile on his face. He's shooting all these takedowns. He's like, we're going into, like, round 4, and this guy has no sweat on his back at all. Absolutely insane. I swear to God, this guy does not sweat. Like, he does not sweat. Like, this guy's shooting all these takedowns, landing all these strikes, doesn't sweat. He's ragdolling Corey. It's just another day at the office, man. I do think Corey kind of maybe edged round 4. He did pretty good, man, on the feet. Was really, really stuffing a lot of the takedowns. If he did get taken down, he was up lightning fast. I honestly don't think Corey did enough, though. Like, there was not enough forward movement. He was backing up the entire night, except for, like, maybe round 1. Round 4, he did come forward a little bit more, but there was just never any significant damage from the side of Corey Sandhagen that made a guy like Merab have to back up or, really, really, like, be fearful in that fight. Like, there just wasn't anything significant enough coming Merab's way that was kind of a fight-changing sequence, right? Like, it was Corey kind of just backing up, landing little pitter-patter shots. He was landing a lot, but, I mean, it just wasn't enough, dude, because Merab, like, just kept coming forward. Man, his takedown attempts were so clean in this fight. Like I love how he fakes up top like he's gonna throw, and then he snatches a single, and then he uses a single to get to your back and dump you off with a body lock. Like, it's so clean, dude. Like, this guy has really come a long way. The technique looks super clean now, man, with his takedown attempts. His striking looks much improved. Was able to land a shitload on the feet against Corey Sandhagen, despite having a reach disadvantage, right? Like, he's 5'6", Corey's 5'11". He was in his face. He was landing strikes, setting up the takedowns all night long. And yeah, dude, Corey, I just don't think he did enough, man. Like his corner's giving him a big pep talk in round 5, like, this is do or die. I think they thought they were going to have their Leon Edwards moment, and it just didn't happen, dude. Merab just stayed on the pressure, and Corey just stayed backing up, man. And that's really all she wrote. It's just another day at the office. Another top contender just easily dispatched by Merab. I feel like it was pretty one-sided. Corey did his thing in a couple rounds, right? But there was just, like, it was never, like, any danger for Merab. He never rocked him, like, landed some good strikes, but there was just never any danger, man. And especially after round 2, it's just like the takedowns came easy. He doesn't have much control with them, usually, right? Especially over a guy like Sandhagen, he didn't maintain much control. But again, it's just like he's constantly in your face, ragdolling you, forcing you to think about the takedown, and the next takedown, and the next takedown. And then he's coming up top, landing strikes on the feet. And then he's, and then he's snatching a single, and then he's moving off to the back. It's just, like, all so fluid, man. It's all so fluid with Merab. Like, dude, I don't know what you do, man. Post-fight, I'm, like, watching these guys talk about this. And, like, they're talking about, like, oh, well, we need some new blood. So we're really looking at the Umar Nurmagomedov, Mario Batista fight. And I'm just, like, sitting here like, have you all forgotten about Peter Yan? I understand Peter Yan lost and got dominated in the first fight against Merab outside the title, but, like, this is a guy who's put together a 3-fight win streak. Davison Figueiredo, Song Yadong, Marcus McGee. Peter Yan's next. What the fuck are we doing here? Like, nobody on the analyst desk fucking mentioned Peter Yan. Like, super disrespectful, man. Like, what are we doing? Like, I get we want to see new blood, but dude, this guy's put together a 3-fight win streak over killers in that division, right? Marcus McGee even was an up-and-coming contender. Dangerous guy. Strong, powerful, knockout power. Good wrestling. Song Yadong, dude. Davison Figueiredo. I mean, come on. Corey was coming off of, like, 1 win over Davison Figueiredo and got the shot. So, dude, they fought long enough ago. Like, you got to give it to Peter Yan, right? That fight was long enough ago now that, like, he deserves to get back in there and get a crack at Merab. Obviously, he's not going to fucking beat Merab, dude. Peter Yan doesn't look the same at this point. But he's owed that, dude. You have to give Peter Yan the shot again. You have to get him back in there. The winner of Batista and Umar, they can go on ice. We know it's going to be Umar. Umar fights like fucking once a year anyway. So, I mean, what's the problem? We can get Merab back in here in, hell, December, January against Peter Yan. Peter Yan's been, waiting for this shot. So let's do Peter Yan next in December, January. I can't remember when Umar and Batista is. It just lines up, though. Based on the activity of Merab, he can fight Petr Yan, beat him in, like, December, January. And then, like, March, April, you get him in there against Umar Nurmagomedov again, right? So there's not a question now. Like, I see people arguing about how it's not even close and how, Dominic Cruz is the clear bantamweight GOAT, and it's like, okay, well, this is 3 defenses now. Look at the fucking resume of Merab Dvalishvili. Look at the resume at this point. Look at the title defenses, dude. These are hard title defenses. Umar and Corey especially. Those are fucking hard title defenses, dude. Those are extremely high difficulty opponents, right? Jose Aldo, Henry Cejudo, Peter Yan before he even got to the belt. Dude, stop it. There's not a question now. If there ever was a question of who the bantamweight GOAT is now, that's been answered. It's Merab, Dvalishvili. No discussions. End of discussion. Case closed. So, typical day at the office for Merab. Good performance. Moving up. Main event. Jama. Moment of silence for Magomed Ankalaev, dude. Man, I don't know, man. It's like the pressure might have got to this guy. I don't know, dude. He came in like heavy boos, man. Heavy boos. I felt bad for him, man, because he was getting booed so loud. I haven't seen anybody booed like that in a long time. All right? There's heels in the sport who don't get booed like that. Crazy. Crazy. But like right off the jump, dude, it's like it's just you knew this fight was going to be different. Right off the jump, Pereira just ran out into the center, took the center, was on the pressure from right from the jump, throwing heavy strikes in Magomed's face. And Magomed just did not have an answer for the pressure of Alex Pereira. He just didn't, dude. Like, he just didn't. He immediately got put on the back foot and just bullied into the fucking cage, man. And that's it. Pereira was throwing from the jump in his face, stalking him, hunting him. And, like, Magomed was getting, chopped down with low kicks. Pereira lands that big overhand, wobbles Ankalaev. Ankalaev shoots in for the takedown, and Pereira just easily shucks that off, gets in top position, and rains down on him, dude. That was the beginning of the end. Starts the 12-6 elbows, man. People don't utilize these enough. Was just dropping 12-6 elbows from hell on Ankalaev. Probably landed like 15 unanswered, just 12-6 elbows, was landing punches, was just going to work, man. It looked like Vitor Belfort whenever he got someone hurt. He would just swarm them. He was swarming Ankalaev. Yes. Again, Ankalaev was pissed after the stoppage. Right? He was like, brother, what happened? But it's like, dude, you have to move. Like, you're sitting there curled up in a fucking ball, getting 12-6 elbows dropped on you, getting other, damaging strikes dropped on you. Yeah, he was covering up, but he's just sitting there turtling. He was on his Anthony Smith game there, dude. He's curled into a ball, and Pereira's just teeing off on him. Like, the fight's gonna be stopped, especially with a guy with that much power, right? And, dude, Pereira just came out there and made a statement. Massive respect, dude. I feel like this guy's stock has skyrocketed because, like, before there was a big question with this guy's game. Can he deal with grappling, right? Is he a well-rounded mixed martial artist? That was the big question, You had a lot of people, like Henry Cejudo and them talking about how, like, I don't think he is one of the best because he hasn't faced a good wrestler. He can't grapple. He faces a good grappler, it's over. I mean, look what Jan Blachowicz did. Okay. First fight, he stuffed all 11 takedown attempts of Magomed Ankalaev and even landed a good takedown on Magomed at the end of one of those rounds. This fight, like, Magomed Ankalaev shoots in on him and he just pancakes him down easily. Defends the takedown, pancakes him down to the ground, and then goes to work. Swarms him on the ground. Bro, like, this guy is a well-rounded mixed martial artist. He's now shown an evolution in his game where he can defend grappling. I know Ank is not very super well known for, like, imposing that Dagestani style of Sambo wrestling. But, like, dude, come on. Like, let's look at these last two fights. This guy can clearly grapple Pereira, right? So his stock is massively increased. Like, honestly, I think this was best case scenario. I picked Ankalaev by knockout. But, like, as a fight fan, dude, I'm actually pumped. Because, like, I remember, like, after making this pick, I'm like, suppose Pereira wins and Aspinall wins. We get that fight. That super fight of Pereira-Aspinall. And that's just, like, bro, like, there's so many matchups to make now. Of course, these fucking idiots are talking about John Jones. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up with that. But this is why Yuri is kind of cooked, man. This is why Yuri is kind of cooked ultimately because, dude, we're talking about Carlos Ulberg, which even Carlos Ulberg might not get it. People are talking about John Jones. I don't agree with a lot of the narratives, but, like, again, the narratives do matter, especially with, like, respected voices of the sport, like a Chiasson, unfortunately. Maybe not like a Chiasson, but like an Anthony Smith, a Dominic Cruz, some of these other guys, even Dana White. fact is, like Yuri's name is at the bottom of that list, dude. Like we're looking at Tom Aspinall for a super fight, maybe on the White House card. We're talking about Olberg, right? There's people talking about potentially John Jones returning to light heavyweight, or just having a heavyweight like 5-rounder against John Jones. Like there's all this shit circulating now. There's all these matchups in the air, these potential big fights, and Yuri's name just isn't there, dude. It's just not there. That's why Yuri might never get another shot, because like even now it's like I know they were talking about maybe like doing Alex Pereira should Tom Aspinall defend the belt, go for that third belt, which I mean as a fan, like, dude, you have to do that. I'm all for the rightful guys getting the shot, but there was kind of an idea that you do Olberg Prohashka for the interim belt, or potentially the vacant light heavyweight title. And like Dana White's in this press conference, like, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan. Shut the fuck up, dude. What are you doing? I'm not a huge fan of guys just jumping weight classes before they... Bro, Alex Pereira defended that belt 3 goddamn times in his first reign. He got the belt back. He's a legend now, dude. He's cemented in history. He's a Hall of Famer, right? Like, I think at this point, dude, he's top 10 all time. Bare fucking minimum. Bare minimum. And you're sitting here talking, oh, I don't know how I feel about the heavyweight. I'm not a huge... Shut the fuck. Can we get this guy out of here? Disney, executives, whoever owns it, WMG, get this fucking guy out of here. What are we doing? The fuck are we doing here, bro? You talking about this guy who needs to stay in his division and do the work. Bro, he did the work in his first reign and defended the belt 3 times. Fought fucking fights on short notice. Saved your guys' asses multiple times. Give him a goddamn shot at the heavyweight title. What are you doing? Seriously. You gotta make the Aspinall fight, dude. Aspinall better fucking win. Oh my god. And that's gonna headline the White House card right there. Super fight. Super fight, dude. And like, dude, based on the ability to defend takedowns at this point, I know Tom is a bigger guy, so dude, that fight with Tom Aspinall Pereira is a lot more interesting now, dude, because you look at him, dude, this fight against Ankalaev is an all-time win. That's one of his best wins. Like, Ankalaev is like the boogeyman of that division. Well-rounded, has the grappling, has the hand speed, the knockout power, right? And to do what he did in under 2 minutes to this guy, dude, it makes an Aspinall fight a lot more interesting now, simply because of the striking ability of Pereira. The ability to defend grappling now. Now, I know Tom's a much bigger guy, so I don't know, man. There's so much hype around that fight now, so you gotta make that fight. You gotta make the super fight. And that's just it, man. Like, huge stock increase for Pereira. Like, I don't know what you say. Like, I feel like, dude, respect. I gotta, I always had respect for Pereira, but like, yeah, there was a question of the grappling, but it's like he's faced a grappler of the caliber of Ankalaev twice, probably the best grappler in that whole damn division, and it's like he's dispatched him easily. He stuffed every single one of his takedowns across 2 fights. You look at that takedown last night, that's 12 takedown stuff now. It's like, bro, this guy clearly knows how to grapple and defend takedowns and stay on his feet at this point. So, like, I feel like his all-time status just took a massive leap with a win like this, dude. Especially coming off that loss to him. A lot of us were counting Alex Pereira out. 38 fucking years old, and you beat, one of the most dangerous guys in this division with the well-roundedness. Like, huge, huge, huge stuff, man. But really sick card, man. Go figure, when the UFC puts on big fights, we get a super hype night of good finishes throughout, right? Did a little bit better on this card. We're moving on up now. Picks wise, let's see. 0-1, 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, 3-2, 4-2, 4-3, 4-4, 5-4, 6-4, 6-5, 7-5, 7-6, 8-6 on picks. I went 6-6 last week. I went like 2-10 on Noche a few weeks back. So we're moving back up. We're getting where we need to be picks wise. Like, I'd like to get in that 9-4, 10-3 range, maybe 11-2 range, where I was previously in the year. But regardless, man, like lots of finishes on this card. Really sick card. You just knew it was gonna deliver, and it did. Really interesting though performance. Okay, so they gave Yuri a performance of the night. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Interesting. Okay, well, regardless, man, really good night of fights, and we're keeping the train rolling, man, all month. All month. October's gonna be sick. We're getting big fights throughout. It'll be a while before we get punished and you have to go back to the Apex in November, but you know, good night of fights. Loved it. Loved all the finishes. Yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching the video. Like and subscribe. Until the next video. See ya.